Hey, wrestling fans. Brian Crazy, JC will be here in a minute. Effin' True Wrestling, and we're here with a little bit something different, DVD review.
Yes, we are actually going to review WWE's ECW One Night Stand 05.
One Night Stand was a concept that WWE came up with the former ECW originals from, ECW, which closed in 2001. For a lot of people out there that don't know, ECW was a great wrestling organization. They closed in 2001 due to financial problems. If they could have found a television deal, they'd probably still be on TV today. Paul Heyman had more heart than pretty much any of the promoters out there. And WWE came together and did an event called One Night Stand in 2005, which allowed ECW to shine.
Also, one quick thought. Tommy Dreamer went on to say in previous videos on the ECW Rise and Fall, and even on the bonus content of a lot of ECW videos, that he said it himself that if he had the money to purchase ECW when Paul Heyman sold it to Vince, he would have. And that just goes to show you how much heart these guys had for this business that they loved.
Well,
how much for this company they loved.
It's funny enough, I worked for a company for 5 years, and they went through a bankruptcy proceeding, and all the guys on the shop floor wanted to take their own funds, their hard-earned, put their houses on mortgage, whatever have you, and buy the company. The bank wouldn't allow them, and we ended up getting owners that, only cared about the dollar sign. And hence me sitting at home now collecting unemployment. Because people only care about dollar signs and what matters to them, not what matters to a guy with 3 kids. But, moving on. ECW One Night Stand.
Fantastic DVD. Fantastic pay-per-view. I remember ordering it with my buddy Mike. From one of my buddies, Mike. We watched it, we taped it, we watched it again right after the pay-per-view, we watched it again the next morning. I mean, guys, they hadn't done something like that in so long, and they came back, and you see Joey Styles in the beginning of in the ring, he's standing there, and he looks like he's getting ready to cry, and then he does his trademark, oh my god! It's things like that.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Even though you had, the Raw guys, you had the Raw guys coming in, the SmackDown guys coming in. There was some controversy. You got to see triple brands there. That was cool. It all just fit the concept. Fantastic. I mean, it was just so well done.
You had a triangle match, which was Tajiri versus Little Guido and versus Super Crazy. And good God, that match put me on the edge of my seat. When Super Crazy got up on top and did the backflip off the balcony, holy shit. See, this was stuff that made ECW what was so great in the 90s. They went out there, they put their own bodies out on the line for only 500 people in a little auditorium, a little bingo hall, as Jerry the King Lawler would say. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for it, but it kind of was. It was a little auditorium that only held 500 people. They went out there, they put on a great wrestling thing for the fans.
And you know what the thing about it is kind of what motivated me and Jay to do this DVD review is some other videos that we've done. Please check them out on ECW, past and present.
You had a great match, Lance Storm versus Lion Tamer Chris Jericho. You had matches, the Dudleys versus Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman. You had matches, the triple threat match I said. You had so many. You had Beulah come out. You had Francine come out. I mean, how many times do you remember Sandman coming out to the ring in the original ECW and caning somebody? And caning somebody. I mean, bashing a beer on his head. Do you remember when Tommy Dreamer had to stay in the ring and get the caning from Sandman, and he just said, please give me another? I mean, that was insane. Please, sir, may I have some more?
It was insane. And that was the kind of content that we don't get these days.
What about the very first storyline ECW ever did when Beulah McGillicuddy was pregnant, and it was supposed to be Tommy's son, or Tommy's child, when she was with Raven and the Flock.
Remember that?
The first ECW storyline.
Remember when they Raven and they used the sun against them?
Sandman.
Yeah. Remember that?
Guys, see, this is the thing that made ECW great. All these high-profile moments. All these
and it wasn't just storylines, and it wasn't production value, and
They didn't have the greatest production value. They didn't have the greatest sound stage.
Well, Heyman
Heyman
would not sacrifice his look and his product for anybody. When he got his TV deal with Spike TV, he refused to sacrifice his product, and that's why One Night Stand was so great, because it was more of what us as ECW fans had.
That was before Vince bought ECW back. every
How they had
Tuesday
the
night.
ballroom done up with the classic ECW, with the way the ring, I mean, the blue mat, I mean, everything was just right. It just
Well, it's
felt...
actually, back in the day, ECW did not have the blue mat, but because New York City state regulations said they have to have the blue mat if you watch the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
If you pay attention, Joey Styles said that. Said it's
Because I remember
Foley.
they had the blue mat for years going back, but yeah, you picked
But
up
when
on
they
something
did,
that
when
I
they
missed.
did hardcore, when they went hardcore, they took the mats away.
No, I'm talking about the ring mat.
Yeah, the maps around.
No, I'm talking about the ring itself. The ring itself was blue.
Oh, yes.
And the ring itself was blue throughout pretty much all of ECW's history.
Yes.
Yes.
But I was just talking about the mats outside the ring.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, no, I did pick that up, but the New York
also,
Commission did say they have to have
another
mats.
spot in the match when they took Tommy Dreamer and they powerbombed him through the flaming table.
Oh, yes.
And all the fans went from chanting "Holy shit" to ECW to "This is hardcore."
Well, this is the problem is that there's some other videos out there and some other responses that we made saying that if Vince brought back ECW, that would invalidate what TNA's trying to do with the originals now. We're not going to really touch on that. Check it out in our other video. This is about One Night Stand. One Night Stand was a fantastic event. I mean, it went off so well. It
was
if
so
they could do
well
this for Hardcore
coordinated.
Justice, because 06 One Night Stand was not the same.
And let's quote on the great Rob Van Dam real quick when he said that. Do you remember when Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View, Mr. Extreme Hardcore, what Mr. High 420? You know, when his vocabulary wasn't limited to cool or whatever. You know, this guy went out there and put his life on the line. He comes into the business into WWE with such high credibility, and they take his entire character and throws it right out the window. Oh, well, you could be Mr. Monday Night, you could be Mr. Pay-Per-View, you could be the whole effing show, but you can't be Mr. 420. You can't go out there with a live mic and speak your mind. I think that was BS on WWE's part. It's called freedom of speech. If I was Rob Van Dam and I was in his position, regardless of what Vince said, I would have went out there and spoke whatever I had on my mind.
Well, and you've seen that in great periods throughout history. I mean, Flair went out, spoke his mind, got to get his ass canned. Big lawsuit. But I mean, neither here nor there. But basic line, guys, ECW One Night Stand 2005, fantastic event.
If you don't have it part of your DVD collection, I recommend go getting it.
One
It's only $7 at FYE used. Go get it. It is a phenomenal DVD. 10 out of 10.
Don't pick up One Night Stand 2006 thinking you're going to get the same kind of content. It was a cheap reproduction. One Night Stand 2005 was the real deal.
It was the originals.
If guys out there who has not seen the original ECW that existed in 2001, do yourself a favor, pick up this DVD. You'll get a taste of the content. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Me and Brian just recently went out and spent over $100 just on wrestling DVDs from FYE. Buy 3, get for the 4th one free, and we built our collection up so well. And one of the DVDs I had to get was ECW 05, and I showed Brian it. Brian loved it, and now we're both, we
just had to do a video on it and just let you guys know.
So guys, this is our plea to you. Please check our videos, subscribe, comment, pass it along to your friends. Effin' True Wrestling Production. I'm JC Styles.
I'm Brian Crazy. Yet again, we appreciate everything from you guys. Just keep subscribing, keep checking us out. You like what you see, let us know. You want to see more, you want to see different things, let us know. We're here from you. You are our loyal fans. We are your loyal provider of content. Brian Crazy, I'm out.
JC Styles.